All right. It's time to get to the media chud portion of today's show. Jeremy of the Quartering fame, of course, we all know, and then we haven't covered Nerdrotic in a while, so I thought we'd cover a Nerdrotic video on the same topic. The Chuds are mad because LeVar Burton recently did an interview where he talked about cancel culture, and talked about it and said, no, it's more like consequence culture, which we've said on this show before. That's a pretty common rebuttal to the whole cancel culture thing. Basically, you know, if you do dumb shit, don't be surprised if people don't want to consume your products or media that you're in. It's pretty simple. So let's see. Jeremy and this other dude get all mad that a guy who's taught and helped instill the love of reading in countless children, and see why he's a left-wing cuck or something, according to them.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Disappointing news coming out of LeVar Burton. Seems like a excellent man, but perhaps his thirst to get back into Hollywood, perhaps hosting the Jeopardy show, has got him...
He'd probably be a good choice for that. He's got a good demeanor for it.
Working to re-establish that he is one of them. Now,
it can't just be that he actively disagrees with you. It must be because he's virtue signaling. This is why I hate accusations being leveled at individuals for virtue signaling. I understand if you use that as a descriptor towards, like, corporations doing rainbow capitalism or stuff like that, because that's pretty apt in terms of that discussion. But usually when it gets used towards individuals, it's just trying to not have a conversation about what they're actually saying and accuse them of lying about their opinions. It's generally not very productive, but Jeremy's not trying to be productive. He's trying to get clicks by people being mad at Geordie LaForge.
LeVar Burton, as far as I can tell, hasn't ruffled any feathers. That doesn't mean I'm not missing something, but it's unfortunate that he is essentially endorsing cancel culture. Start the clock in terms of, when he's going to get canceled. And you know what? I'll defend him then too.
I mean, he just has to not be shitty. It's pretty simple.
Going to have a laugh.
Like, don't be racist, and don't be homophobic, and don't be transphobic. Those are like the three big things. It's not a difficult list.
At his expense.
Even then, it's not even... And here's the thing, too. If you were, like, honestly accidentally racist, or, like, didn't know something, or had a misunderstanding about some LGBT issue and came out on the wrong side of it, you know how you solve that problem so you don't get canceled? You apologize. You say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that what I said was this. Criticism noted, and I will change in the future. And then people will still like you. It's okay to be wrong. It's just not okay to be wrong and hurt people and then adamantly refuse to change because you have an ego thing going on.
But it's so frustrating.
What's a chud? A chud is basically a right-wing weirdo. Like the Quartering. They're a right-wing culture warrior who are dorks. Not even dorks. I don't know how to describe it. I can only list people and explain. MGTOW types, Jeremy, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. These are chuds.
This vibe bounding into comics. During an interview with The View, Star Trek actor LeVar...
Yeah, anti-SJW right-wing types.
LeVar Burton briefly touched on the topic of cancel culture, mentioning that he believes the phenomenon has been misnamed, revealing that he prefers to call it consequence culture.
I'm glad that's spreading, by the way. I've heard a lot of people rebut that, including myself, with it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. There are consequences for your actions and words. It's not surprising. This has always been the case. It's not new.
This is a common pro-cancel culture argument, and it is bologna sausage. Burton's hot take on cancel culture movement was expressed this Monday when The View co-host Meghan McCain asked the Star Wars actor about his opinion on the recent discontinuation.
The Star Wars actor? Star Trek actor. The article wasn't wrong. Jeremy just misread that. Hydrate. Okay.
Of Dr. Seuss books and how cancel culture affects works of art and artists.
The Cat in the Hat, not even the Cat in the Hat, the Dr. Seuss books thing is a terrible example of this because it wasn't canceled. The publishers of the Dr. Seuss books just picked like 5 or 6 that had questionable racial stuff in them, and also were some of the worst selling Dr. Seuss books, and just decided, hey, we're gonna stop publishing these. It's fine. No one forced them to do it. There was no Twitter campaign that was like, hashtag cancel Dr. Seuss. It was a business making a business decision, which right-wingers used to be for. But now that businesses are making decisions based on like, hey, this is maybe insensitive, all of a sudden right-wingers are losing their goddamn minds.
McCain asked, we've talked on the show about the decision by Dr. Seuss Estate to discontinue 6 of his books that feature outdated imagery. What do you think of that decision?
Dr. Seuss would be fine with that decision, by the way. Dr. Seuss had a history of, later in life, he went back and edited some of his books for this same reason. In fact, one of the books that got pulled was that, one of those books that he edited, because even the edit hadn't aged very well over time. Dr. Seuss knew that he had done racial depictions that were not good in the past, especially during some of his World War II material, and he apologized for that and recognized, like, that was not cool. I don't think Dr. Seuss would have a problem with this, but also Dr. Seuss is dead, so it doesn't really matter what he would think in the first place, does it? It's just not a big deal. Their books no one has read in decades. They were not the popular Dr. Seuss books. No one's touching Horton Hears a Who. No one's touching The Cat in the Hat. No one's touching Green Eggs and Ham. It's the publishing company pulling on popular books that weren't selling.
Burton goes on to explain that he actually has been doing voiceover for Dr. Seuss Enterprise, the Dr. Seuss Enterprises, and this experience has given him some perspective on the whole Dr. Seuss controversy. It's interesting because for the Dr. Seuss Foundation did a voiceover for a video that they put together to remind us that Dr. Seuss is more than simply a company that's decided to put a couple of books on the shelf to take them out of rotation. Burton explained. He continues, the man Theodore Geisel, who is Dr. Seuss, is responsible for generations of wholesome, healthy, wonderful, imaginative, creative content for children of all ages. And I think we should put things in perspective. But here's where things get spicier. He admits that cancel culture is a term he calls a misnomer, defending the movement and revealing that consequence culture is the term that should be used instead. Quote, in terms of cancel culture, Burton continued, I think it's misnamed. That's a misnomer. The Star Trek actor proceeds to explain, I think we have consequence culture, and that consequences are finally encompassing everybody in society. Yeah, that's right. Just normal, everyday people who have a bad day at work getting filmed to put on the internet.
Who are you talking about that has a bad day at work? Because, like, if someone has a bad day at work and yells, like, racial slurs, yeah, they're going to get fired and they're going to get canceled. People who aren't racist or whatever don't have a bad day at work and then start spouting racial slurs. What are you talking about? I don't even know what theoretical or hypothetical situation he's talking about. I'm just using that as an example. Because if someone has a bad day at work, the bad day itself is not going to do anything. Are you implying that because they had a bad day, they did something terrible? What did they do, Jeremy?
And called terrible things. That's just normal.
And called people terrible things? Boy, customers at work sure were terrible today. I just had to have an epic gamer moment and start shouting the N-word like I'm Marcel Basset. No. No. People who aren't racist don't start spouting racial slurs when they get frustrated, you idiot. What are you doing?
You know, that's just people getting the consequences that they deserve. Or
yes, if you are an adult who cannot handle being frustrated without yelling racial slurs at people, yeah, there are consequences for those actions.
You know, the many men who were canceled via fake claims by female in their life.
Ooh, Ooh, here it comes. He's going to say Me Too is a scam.
In their life. How about Pro Jared, for example? How about the guy from Honest Trailers? The list goes
I don't know
on and
anything
on.
about those.
To
my knowledge, they still have their channels, though, but I could be wrong. Hydrate, thank you.
Is that consequence culture, LeVar? I think that there are good signs that they are happening in the culture right now, and I think it has everything to do with a new awareness on people who were simply unaware of the real nature of life in this country, for people who have been othered since this nation began. Literally what, LeVar? Literally what? LeVar Burton has since doubled down on his rather controversial statement. I said it, and I stand by it. The actor expressed in response to a tweet by a user, Justice Devereaux, who shared the clip from the show. It's extraordinarily disappointing to see this on many levels, and the overall response is frustrating too. But cancel culture really thrives. It's always existed. It's always existed. Every day you see a new name on the sidebar of Twitter that has said something bad or did something bad 20 years ago, and now
then just apologize for it. What do these people not understand? If you did something in the past that's terrible, all you have to do is apologize. I've done this also back from when we were like edgy, when I was like an edgy teenager doing YouTube. I said things that were terrible, and I've apologized for those and advocated for people to think before they speak, right? That's all you have to do. It's fine. Just change and be better. Baha says, cancel LeVar Burton for supporting consequences.
To pay, according to Twitter, right? They have to pay. And the idea that you would try to lighten cancel culture, which has caused people to, self-delete off this planet, is sad.
Who has self-deleted off the planet? Please explain.
It's not surprising, though. The idea is that he's saying basically they get what they deserve. Is that what it is? I'm not exactly sure. People who have, and you see, the pro cancel culture crowds coming in, people who have never faced real consequences experience them as oppression. So when they're surrounded by people who agree with them, that they don't even realize how silly and childish they sound screaming cancel culture, which is teen internet lingo. No, it isn't. It's a very real thing.
And Jeremy never indulges in juvenile internet culture, which is why he's, not obsessed with Amber Heard or Brie Larson or Pokimane, any of this Captain Marvel shit or Disney shit, Star Wars shit. He's a very reasonable adult, okay? Can you see how many toys he has behind him? Would a man-child too heavily invested in the online Chud community, would he have that many toys? I don't think so.
If we just look at the editor, Alexi McCammond, right? Forced to retire over tweets from 1 billion years ago.
Wow, Twitter existed 1 billion years ago, Jeremy? That's amazing.
Is that consequence culture?
Yes. Literally, yes.
LeVar Burton, a young woman of color, achieves a high position in a large company, has tweeted.
It's so ironic, too, because Jeremy has actively celebrated people getting fired for things he disagrees with. Jeremy's fine with quote-unquote cancel culture. He just doesn't like it when people he agrees with get canceled. Like, oh god, the quartering receipts had a thing about this. Quartering receipts. I'm never going to be able to find this. Receipts. cancel culture. I'm not going to be able to find it. New video, beauty pie, blast cancel culture. Trying to find, gosh, there was a thing on the quartering receipts where he showed Jeremy celebrating people getting fired. Someone find the tweet for me.
Tweets from a decade ago force her to quit her job. And this is going to follow her around everywhere she goes. Tweets from 2011 that were a little too spicy, or maybe she...
What were the tweets? Hold on. What were the tweets this lady made? Editor fired tweets. Or resigned. Editor resigns over tweets. Teen Vogue editor resigns after fury over racist tweets. Let's see what the tweets were. Ah. How about this one? Do I need to think here? CNBC. Let me see where the tweets are. Alexi McCammond tweets. Why is this newsworthy? It's not. Okay. Okay, so she's saying vaguely homophobic things, maybe. She says, outdone by Asian. Now Googling how to not wake up with swollen Asian eyes. Give me a 2 out of 10 on my chem problems. Cross out all my work and don't explain what I did wrong. Thanks to stupid Asian TA. You're great. She was like an old Asian woman. LOL. Gee, I wonder why people were mad. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
You know, are people afforded zero path to redemption?
Look, man, if she apologizes and she's like, yeah, that was messed up, that's fine. But she chose to resign, probably at the behest of her magazine. That's up to them. But if she apologizes genuinely and she doesn't have a history of doing that afterward, I understand. People mature and they grow, and that's fine. Those tweets are very yikes. They're disgusting. But if she genuinely is like, you know what, I apologize, I was a kid, I was being stupid, I was being racist, and I didn't realize how serious that was, I apologize. That'd be fine. The magazine, of course, still has the right to fire her over that, because that's kind of how our unfortunate labor laws in the U.S. work. Get rid of right to work stage, Jeremy. Talk about that instead of how you don't like children's movies, and then maybe you won't have to worry so much.
I'm sure all of us, myself included, have things that they have said or
she quit instead of apologized. Yikes.
Or done that they would take back. But at what point have we paid our price? The internet would have you believe that it is never a debt that can be repaid. If we look at what happened with Alec Halawaka, who, if I bring him back up, this is a guy that was a Canadian video game designer who was on the receiving end of...
Let's take a look. August 2019, Halawaka was accused of physical and emotional abuse by Zoe Quinn the day following the accusation. The Night in the Woods development team cut ties with him. The Scott Benson writing, "We take such allegations seriously as a team." The team stated that other corroborating evidence related to the accusation has been presented to them. Their publisher, Finji, backed the team's decision and also postponed plans to publish physical copies of the game in the wake of the allegations. He died by suicide on the 31st of August 2019, according to his sister, who posted on Twitter about his death. He'd been battling mood and personality disorders throughout his life and was a victim of abuse. She explained he had been trying to correct his own disorders in recent years through therapy and medication. She also stated that Halawaka said he wished the best for Zoe and everyone else. That's an unfortunate situation, but, like, he was harassing her, and they let him go because of that. I'm sorry he faced a lot of mental health issues. I really am. That's unfortunate, and that's something that needs to be addressed for everyone in expanding mental health care. So instead of taking that decision, he actually internalized that and worked on his problems and continued to do so, because it sounds like he was already trying to do so. But the fact that he was fired is his own fault. He was harassing someone, and they apparently had evidence of said harassment. It's terrible that he ended his own life. Genuinely. I don't like when anyone ends their own life, unless you're like Adolf Hitler. And there was only one Adolf Hitler. But that's not Zoe Quinn's fault for being open about the fact that he was gross to her. That's his fault for being gross and then getting fired and then making that decision. Just saying.
Of cancel culture, predicated by, I believe, Zoe Quinn. This was
more Gamergate shit too. Beautiful.
Last year, late in 2019. It was so bad that he chose to leave this planet. Is this consequence culture, LeVar Burton?
The suicide is not. Not at all. Him being fired, yes.
Because these online mobs, they have this ability to ruin someone's life, to push them.
People ruin their lives all the time. It sucks, but people will do terrible things or say terrible things, and it ruins their own life. The fact that you faced consequences for your shitty behavior doesn't automatically make it the fault of other people. It's still your fault. You could ruin your own life. That's kind of how it works.
Them over the edge. And you never really know what somebody's going through.
What happened to these people talking about personal responsibility? No, they want personal responsibility for everyone else. They want to be coddled, and anything they do is just a mistake, okay? Anything anyone else does is a consequence of their actions.
Through when, you know, they may have done...
Does harassment not ruin people's lives? I'm not telling anyone to harass anyone. It's not harassment to fire someone, right? I'm not telling anyone, if someone does something shitty, to go to them personally and harass them on Twitter. I think that's stupid and pointless, and also a dick move. However, if someone does something shitty and they get fired for that, it happens.
Something bad. And this goes for all sides of the political spectrum, obviously. I think LeVar wants, you know, and by the way, I don't think he's desperate for work, but this is a bad take.
I would imagine LeVar Burton's getting those sweet, sweet Star Trek TNG residuals. I don't think he needs work if he doesn't want it.
For the guy that I used to watch every day, Reading Rainbow. A lot of people know him from Star Trek, but I knew him from Reading Rainbow. And
he's been in many things. He's in Roots. He's in Reading Rainbow. He's in Star Trek. He's in all sorts of stuff.
Wasn't he in... I don't want to get this wrong, but wasn't he in... Was he in Roots?
Yeah, he was Kunta Kinte in Roots.
Yes, Kunta Kinte. Yeah, duh. Okay. So, I mean, like, the guy is super established and rich, but it's just disappointing. Never meet your heroes, apparently. Hope you enjoyed this video.
LeVar Burton is canceled because he promoted cancel culture.
Talk to you again real soon.
So that's Jeremy's take on it. I also wanted to take a look at a different Chud who covered this, Nerdrotic.
and they need to be taken care. Ow!
Nerderotic.com.
Legends never die, but our heroes do on a daily basis, like LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if Mr. Rogers were still alive, Chuds would hate Mr. Rogers more than anyone. I'm telling you. They would shit-talk that guy constantly.
Listen to this clip from LeVar Burton. His take on cancel culture, folks.
In terms of cancel culture, I think it's misnamed. That's a misnomer. I think we have a consequence culture, and that consequences are finally encompassing everybody in the society, whereas they haven't been ever in this country. So I think that there are good signs that are happening in the culture right now, and I think it has everything to do with a new awareness on people who were simply unaware of the real nature of life in this country for people who have been othered since this nation began.
Okay, he just othering in the same breath that he just supported cancel culture.
When he's talking about othering, he's talking about entire groups of people because of their race, or because of their ethnicity, or because of their sexuality, stuff like that. He's not talking about individuals getting fired for saying the N-word.
He's dumb. He's dumb.
For a very intelligent man, this is. I mean, this got me mad yesterday.
That's it? That's all he did? Yeah. They're freaking out because he's like, hey, sometimes there are consequences for your actions. And they're like, what?
Today, like, mad. Because, A, there's no such thing as consequence culture.
Cancel culture exists, but not consequence culture.
Who determines who is to receive these consequences?
Society. I don't know if you guys know this, but socialization, not a new thing. The internet is just another avenue through which people get socialized by society. Stop being shitheads, and then people won't cancel you.
You?
The mob.
You and your fucking mob? You and your fucking...
The mob, aka society.
Fucking echo chamber? You decide who gets the consequences? And what
Yes.
consequences? Consequences of having a different opinion to you? Consequences of
Having a different opinion? Saying racial slurs or homophobic things isn't a different opinion. You're just an asshole.
having a different political affiliation to you? Consequences of not downloading the latest software patch and spewing it out like a fucking NPC? This guy's a very
Wow, unironic use of NPC.
intelligent
This guy's checking all the boxes.
man. A very intelligent man. And I just thought, what a dumb twat.
Do you see how many superhero 12-inch figures he has behind him? This is a learned man, okay? They don't let you buy Sideshow collectible Captain America and stick it next to your Batman figure if you don't have a large IQ, okay?
What a fuck.
Look at that Funko Pop behind him. You think they just let anyone have Funko Pops? I think you need a master's degree at minimum just to look at the Funko Pops.
Fucking dumb idiot this person fucking is that doesn't understand the difference between a consequence and cancel culture. And as we saw from the whole...
They're still on about Gina Carano. Guys, aren't you excited, though? She's gonna be in Ben Shapiro's new movie. You guys love Ben Shapiro, right? His movies are so good. Shouldn't you be excited that she has this new opportunity to be in Ben Shapiro's movie?
Gina Carano debacle. These people don't want to cancel you. They don't want consequences for your actions. They want to kill you. They want you to be...
Yes, you being fired from Star Wars is tantamount to murder.
Be completely destitute. For what?
If I'm not in a Star Wars, then I'm poor. Those are the two sides of the coin. Being in a Star Wars show or being homeless. She got that sweet, sweet Ben Shapiro money. She's good. Hydrate, will do.
for having a different fucking opinion.
For 100,000 years, human beings have been using social consequences to bring individuals that step out of line. Cancel culture is as old as humanity. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are they acting like this is new? Have they literally never been told no in their entire lives? To the extent that they think they can just do whatever they want and people aren't going to be like, dick move. No, maybe don't do that.
And fuck off, LeVar. You fucking dumb prick.
And
if I ever wind up in a place in my life where I'm like telling LeVar Burton, again, assuming LeVar Burton doesn't have some awful thing come out about him, you never know these days. Like if I were like LeVar Burton or Mr. Rogers or the guy who paints, whose name I'm forgetting, if I ever am telling any of those people to fuck off, check me, right? Be like, well, are you okay? Are you a little mad? Bob Ross, thank you. Or like Steve Irwin, you know.
And I love how LeVar said consequence culture, like he just came up with that term himself.
I don't think he implied he came up with it. That's a pretty common response to the whole cancel culture thing these days.
Let's call it a consequence culture.
Consequence culture.
Shut up, you pretentious.
No, you got this. You got the software update, LeVar.
And again, I go back to the Oscars not being watched by anybody. Despite coup and no fucking movies, it'll be worse next year because people are sick of pretentious ass millionaires telling us how we should live.
I know that a lot of you...
Unless that pretentious rich person is Donald Trump or his family. Then more, please, Daddy.
People at home want to reach for your remote when you feel like Hollywood is preaching to you.
Basically, we have LeVar Burton, who has been an actor for decades, been pretty comfortable in his life for decades. He is a very privileged person now.
Sure.
Whatever his roots were, whatever his upbringing was, most of his life, he is now a rich man. You know, a life of five.
Okay. Does that mean he doesn't understand what it's like to grow up being a black man in America? Does that mean he doesn't understand the social climate in which we live in? There are tons of people who have a lot of privilege because of their wealth. But if those people are going to exist, and right now they do, I'd prefer them to use their platforms to spread progressive ideas and espouse the idea that, hey, being a racist shithead isn't great and we have problems in society. That's a good thing that people are talking about this kind of thing.
5-star hotels, mansions, cocktail parties, doesn't have to worry about working a 40-hour week. You know, these are things he isn't concerned about anymore.
He doesn't understand. I work 40 hours a week. That means I get to say the N-word.
So they're free to think about things like othering and cancel culture, consequence culture, and it's very easy for
the fact that you're so busy or so, how do I put this, self-involved that you don't care about social stuff. That's fine. You don't have to, but then why are you talking about it at all? Go to work then. If all you can do is work 40 hours a week, then just go work 40 hours a week. And still don't say racial slurs. That'd be great. But, like, that's not what you're doing? You spend all your time complaining about politics in Star Wars. Like, you're a part of this discussion. LeVar Burton's allowed to, too, even if he is a rich dude.
For them to, you know, just repeat the latest download, and that's all LeVar is doing. I doubt he knows what the fuck is going on here on YouTube or on fucking Twitter. Who
YouTube is real life. Did you know that?
knows if he even uses his own Twitter, if he has one. A lot of these adult pretenders don't. They hire somebody to be their social media manager, and they
probably because they don't want to say something stupid online and then face consequences for it. Weird.
They spout off.
They're a brand, you see.
Things, and that person posts for them. So who knows? And this is, of course, is on The View, so he's speaking to the audience. The adult pretenders are losing influence every day because of
adult pretenders. Again, there's nothing wrong with owning toys as an adult. I own a lot of toys too. But the irony of this man-child calling other people adult pretenders in a room literally covered in consumerist plastic shit is so funny to me.
moronic statements like this. And then just to see in the comments, like a couple people backing him up. There's one guy who basically says, You know, it's just consequence culture. And you know what? No, the courts don't have time to go over every issue. So yes, sometimes the will of the people has to take care of things, and it has more power than the courts anyway.
That's a very strange way to talk about this. I don't agree with that sentiment. When we're talking about consequence culture, we're not usually talking about illegal acts. We're talking about people doing socially unacceptable shit, like spouting racial slurs, or being homophobic or transphobic, or some dumb bullshit like that.
And it's like, it's statements like that, like, oh, that's not fucking scary at all. I mean, that's exactly how totalitarian governments happen.
Yeah, you know what?
I can't say the N-word on Twitter anymore. This is literally the same as communist China.
Consequences. A consequence is when your viewership goes from 23.6 million a year ago to 9.8 million. That's a fucking consequence. That's a consequence of your natural actions.
Sure, I would agree.
Over the fucking course of time. That's a consequence of people getting sick and fucking tired of fucking ivory tower cunts like you.
So, great. That's fine. I would agree. Viewership on whether it's the Oscars or whatever is going to be determined by people's interest in those things. I don't really care about the award show, so they face the consequences of the fact that the award show isn't that good or that interesting to people anymore, so they get less ratings. I agree. You understand.
Fucking lecturing the fucking working man and the working woman who you think is, you call upon othering
the working man and the working woman like me who sits in front of a camera and bitches about Star Wars.
You fucking other us, you bitch.
Is he okay? He's angry. You other us, you bitch.
You fucking think we're subordinate. You look up us, you stand here and you fucking look down on us all the fucking time. And you fucking talk about
heel versus babyface. Does this guy have his own YouTube channel? Heel, oops, versus babyface. I gotta add this guy to my regular Chud list. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Oh, I already do. Where is he? Where's he saved? Yeah, he's on Media Chuds. Weird, he wasn't showing up. Very angry.
about othering? Ain't you fucking nice, man?
When they edited this, did they think that speech was badass? I think they do.
With your fucking nice wooden fucking shit and your books and your fucking nice...
Your nice wooden shit in your books? Chat, I wish I could go walk my camera. It's a webcam, unfortunately. I wish I could go walk my camera out there. Just like, I have a wooden bookshelf and books. You know you can buy that, right? Like, you don't have to buy a $30 shelf from Amazon made of plywood to throw your PS4 games on. You could use that money to buy an actual bookshelf and put books on it. You'd have to read, though. So...
Job. And you fucking sit there and you talk about othering. You fucking look on people like us like shit. Like fucking shit.
I mean, now I kind of do, because this whole speech is incredibly cringe. Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book. Reading rainbow, reading rainbow.
And we're the people that fucking scream.
Yeah, like my whole like, what does he mean wood shit? My desk is wood. Like, what? My gavel is wood. You probably own wooden things in your house. He just doesn't like the scent of rich mahogany.
And save and have to fucking claw our ways through life. We didn't fucking manage to find ourselves on...
Oh, you're mad at capitalism then. You should not be mad at Star Wars. You should be mad at capitalism, which arguably Star Wars is a part of. So sure, let's do something about capitalism, and then Star Wars will be fixed or something. I don't know. Will that convince him?
On a stage and get a great fucking job at 23 that fucking propelled us into mass stardom and millionairedom and all this kind of fucking jazz. No, we fucking lost money. We fucking lived paycheck to paycheck. We got fucking made redundant.
This guy definitely voted for Trump, right? And he's complaining about the fact that the working class have been hollowed out in this country. Does he understand why that's happened?
We have to try and find fucking jobs. We tried to get our entertainment where we could fucking find it. And it used to be in comics, and it used to be in
He is a Brit, yeah.
film, and it used to be in fucking
How do you think he feels about Margaret Thatcher? How does he feel about Boris Johnson? How does he feel about Brexit?
TV, and you fucking assholes have torn it all down so you can fucking...
This guy wants to be Sargon so bad. He doesn't have the dignity to be Sargon. Destiny got banned? What did he do now? What did Destiny do now?
Lecture to us! Lecture! Who the fuck are you to lecture to us?
LeVar Burton. He did the reading rainbows.
You fucking know!
He showed a picture of Hunter Biden's dick. Like, full on? He didn't even blur it? Why? Why would he do that? Was it on purpose or was it an accident?
One! Othering? There's fucking 7 billion people on this planet, and there's a fucking minute fucking little bunch of you lot in fucking LA, and you fucking...
A guest showed it? Yikes. Gotta be careful about that.
Other every single one of us with your condescending bull...
Was it a, oh god, is it a temporary suspension or is it a permanent ban?
Bullshit!
The guest showed it. In that case, I would hope it's temporary. I don't like Destiny, but, you know, that's always tough when it's like a guest doing some shitty thing. You do vet who comes on, though. I get it. You're ultimately culpable, but...
Sorry, guys. I am so fucking sick and tired of these fucking losers.
Projection.
I have to be honest. If things had gone differently this past week in Minneapolis, I might have traded in my heels for marching boots.
These fucking privileged fucking losers who fucking other us on a daily basis, who fucking tell us if we're good enough to buy their product, who fucking tell us if we're good enough to watch their film, who fucking take the stage in their thousands upon thousands of dollars fucking dresses and suits.
Yeah, eat the rich. Right on, comrade.
And
it's temporary. Okay.
Fucking shoes and handbags and accessories and cologne. And then you go, I'm now going to fucking lecture you. I would have put on my boots if we didn't get the verdict that we wanted. Go.
Oh, so he's defending Derek Chauvin too? I'm shocked, I tell you. I'm shocked. Someone who's mad about SJWs in Star Wars also is fine with police murdering people of color? Who would have guessed that there's a connection there? Weird.
Oh, fuck yourself. Your boots wouldn't have come anywhere near your fucking Gucci-ass feet, bitch.
Yep.
Wouldn't even fucking touch them. You would have sat in your fucking house on your fat fucking ass and watched
glass houses
from your safe
the
TV
irony
in your safe neighborhood with
I know he is salty.
Your fucking safe friends and your safe security, and you would have done fuck all. You frauds, you pretenders, you scum, and you fucking dare other us.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
He's so satisfied with that. He's like, I nailed it. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, you know, these are the same people, you know, who say we live in this horrible racist nation, and this guy is LeVar set for life. Regina King.
Single individuals of a certain race succeeding means there are no systematic injustices anywhere. Checkmate, atheists.
Set for life. And I can't even tell you what Regina King has done outside of a shitty Watchmen show that was so good it got canceled. They are the...
I don't think it got canceled. I think he wanted it to be a one-season miniseries thing, the guy who made it.
Privileged. And what they're trying to do is say, please don't come and burn down my house when the revolution comes. Sweetheart, your house will be the first one burned down. The Orange Man did say one thing that was true. There's a lot of dumb rich people out there. That's how great this fucking country is. You can be dumb as a fucking bag of hammers, and you can make a lot of money.
Yeah. It's almost like our system is broken. Why don't you talk about that instead of how Star Wars is feminism or something? I don't know what you guys do.
You can make a lot of money. You can call this a racist nation while you're surrounded by this, glorious office with $1,000 books, your awards for your pretend.
Again, individual examples of success do not somehow negate the countless examples of systematic failure for people of color. Do you understand that?
Listen, LeVar, you're pretty
Watchmen was a limited series. I thought so.
decent at reading lines in a science fiction show with one specific character, and you were pretty good in Roots, which was decades ago. And right now, though, you're mostly reading Rainbow to me. So stick with, stay on script, stick with other people's words when you try.
Shut up and know your place, LeVar. I think you need to go back and watch Roots. Uh-oh.
To make the words yourself while you.
Your name is Reading Rainbow Guy. Whoosh. I just want to talk about social issues that I think are relevant. Your name is Reading Rainbow Guy. Whoosh. Go watch Roots. It's a good movie.
You sound like
miniseries.
an idiot. If you like what I do,
he has a massively popular podcast where he reads to people. That's cool. They did remake Roots. I haven't seen the remake. I heard it wasn't as good, but I don't know. So anyway, that's these people being mad. Being real mad about dumb stuff. Oh, they did a Shang-Chi trailer reaction. Jesus Christ. All right, let's move on.